Namaskar, a warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on All India Radio. This is Abhijit Loreng and with me is Nabinita Adhikari, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says India will not hesitate to cross borders if it is targeted by terrorists from outside. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program on Sunday. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow next week over the Ukraine war. University Grants Commission and All India Council for Technical Education advises students not to travel to Pakistan for pursuing higher education. World Book and Copyright Day being observed to honor the great works of authors all over the world. Indian grapplers win 1 gold, 2 silvers and 2 bronze medals in the Asian Wrestling Championships at Ulaanbaatar on Saturday. India beat France in compound men's team final to win gold medal in Archery World Cup Stage 1 at Antalya. And in IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans beat Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 runs, while Sunrisers Hyderabad defeat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 9 wickets in Mumbai. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that the Government of India is committed to end militancy in the country, and in this pursuit its armed forces can even cross the border. A report.
The Defence Minister was addressing a program to honour the war heroes of 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War in Guwahati. He said northeastern states are developing rapidly due to peace and tranquility on Indo-Bangladesh borders. Mr. Singh also informed that India, which used to be importer of defence products, is now exporting to various countries. India is on the 25th position in defence export and has set a target of exporting 35,000 crore rupees of defence products by 2024-25. Speaking on the occasion, Assam Chief Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sarma said that the Indo-Pak War of 1971 is a landmark event in the history of this subcontinent. Lieutenant Colonel retired Qazi Sajjad Ali Zahir, who is a war veteran of Bangladesh, also attended the program. Bangladesh government awarded him the Bir Pratik and Independence Award, the highest civilian award of that country. Mr. Zahir received India's 4th highest civilian award, Padma Shri, in 2021. Reshma Tiwari for World News, All India Radio.
In Jammu and Kashmir, a Pakistani terrorist, a proscribed Jaish-e-Mohammed JEM terror outfit, has been neutralized by security forces in an encounter that erupted between security forces and terrorists in Mirhama area of Kulgam district Saturday evening. The identity of the slain terrorist is being ascertained. Details are awaited.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio at 11 a.m. on Sunday. It will be the 88th episode of the monthly radio program. The program will be broadcast on the entire network of All India Radio and Doordarshan, All India Radio News website and News on Air mobile app. It will also be streamed live on YouTube channels of AIR News, DD News, PMO and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit the Indian Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir to participate in the celebration of National Panchayati Raj Day on Sunday and address all the Gram Sabhas across the country. He will visit Palli Panchayat in Samba district. During the visit, Mr. Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of multiple development initiatives worth around 20,000 crore rupees.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres will meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky in Ukraine next week after a stop in Moscow to confer with President Vladimir Putin about the war. Mr. Guterres will see Mr. Zelensky and Ukraine's foreign minister on Thursday, 2 days after visiting Moscow, the United Nations said in a statement. The Kremlin has confirmed that Mr. Putin would meet the UN Secretary General on Tuesday. Mr. Guterres sent letters this week requesting in-person meetings to try to regain the initiative for the UN, which has been largely marginalized from the crisis since Russian military operation in Ukraine on February 24. Spokesperson Stefan Jurek said that UN Secretary General would like to discuss urgent steps to bring about peace in Ukraine. University Grants Commission UGC and All India Council for Technical Education AICTE has advised students not to travel to Pakistan for pursuing higher education. In a public notice issued by UGC and AICTE, it has been highlighted that any Indian national or overseas citizen of India who intends to take admission in any educational institution of Pakistan will not be eligible for seeking employment or higher studies in India on the basis of such educational qualifications acquired in Pakistan. The notice further mentioned that the migrants and their children who have acquired higher education degree in Pakistan and have been awarded citizenship by India would be eligible for seeking employment in India after obtaining security clearance from the Ministry of Home Affairs.
India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman interacted virtually with several distinguished United States universities to explore the opportunities of setting up foreign universities and institutions at GIFT City in Ahmedabad. Representatives of 14 U.S. universities took part in the virtual interaction on Saturday. Recognizing the inherent potential of the International Financial Services Centers, IFSC, the budget announcement paved the way for allowing world-class foreign universities to offer courses in financial management, fintech, science, technology, engineering and mathematics in GIFT City. The finance minister spoke about the win-win opportunities for the financial services industry as well as the foreign universities operating out of IFSC. She said, as IFSC acquires critical mass with growing concentration of financial services industry, demand for high-quality human capital is expected to increase significantly. She added foreign universities in IFSC could contribute towards addressing this demand. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his UK counterpart Boris Johnson reviewed the comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries during their bilateral talks in New Delhi on Friday. Issues of defence and security cooperation, cybersecurity and space also figured in the discussion between the two leaders. India and United Kingdom have signed 6 memorandums of understanding. In today's Hotspots section, we bring you a news commentary, India-UK ties set for new heights.
India and the UK are bound by strong ties of history and culture. India's multifaceted bilateral relationship with the United Kingdom intensified with its upgradation to a strategic partnership. In September 2004, both countries adopted a joint declaration titled India-UK towards a new and dynamic partnership which envisages annual summits and regular meetings between the foreign ministers. It also outlined areas for future cooperation in civil nuclear energy, space, defense, combating terrorism, economic ties, science and technology, education and culture. The visit of the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson to India is expected to elevate the relations further. The UK supports India's proposal for permanent membership of the United Nations Security Council and is also an important interlocutor for India in the European Union, the G8, the G20 and global contexts. India and UK signed a Civil Nuclear Cooperation Declaration in February 2010, which helps in promotion and facilitation of cooperation in the nuclear field, including nuclear trade, and also between the scientific institutions of the two countries. Several joint research projects are in progress. India-UK Science and Technology Cooperation started with the signing of the Science and Technology Agreement in January 1996. In 2006, a new orientation was given to S&T cooperation with setting up of the Science and Innovation Council, which is the main framework within which India-UK Science and Technology Cooperation operates. A number of joint initiatives have been taken up during 2006 to 2010, which include joint projects in nanoscience, biotechnology, including stem cell research, telecommunications, solar energy use, and weather forecasting. The signing of the Roadmap 2030 for the India-UK relations during the India-UK Virtual Summit last year was a landmark occasion. It outlines plans for the relationship over the next 10 years. The roadmap is the first since the formal comprehensive strategic partnership agreed in 2005, and there is mixed expectations about the capacity of the roadmap to significantly strengthen the relationship. Nonetheless, recognizing the need to redress the declining importance of the bilateral relationship, India went from being the UK's second largest trading partner in the late 1990s to being 17th in 2019. The UK government is hoping to start afresh in this project with renewed enthusiasm as part of its Global Britain agenda. Ahead of his visit, British Prime Minister said, quote, "As we face threats to our peace and prosperity from autocratic states, it is vital that democracies and friends stick together. India, as a major economic power and the world's largest democracy, is a valued strategic partner for the UK in these uncertain times. My visit to India will deliver on the things that really matter to the people of both our nations, from job creation and economic growth to energy security and defence," unquote. Mr. Johnson was given a rousing reception at Ahmedabad on his arrival from London. He visited industrial units and was hosted by the Gujarat Chief Minister Bhupendra Bhai Patel. In Delhi, Mr. Johnson held wide-ranging talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The two Prime Ministers appreciated the progress made on the Roadmap 2030 and reiterated their commitment to pursue a more robust and action-oriented cooperation across the full spectrum of bilateral relations. They appreciated the progress made in the ongoing Free Trade Agreement FTA and agreed to conclude a comprehensive and balanced trade deal by October 2022. The FTA would pave the way for doubling of bilateral trade by 2030. Both Prime Ministers exchanged views on regional and global issues of mutual interest, including cooperation in the Indo-Pacific, Afghanistan, UNDC, G20 and Commonwealth. India welcomed the UK joining Indo-Pacific Initiative under Maritime Security Pillar and agreed to enhance agreements in the Indo-Pacific region. Mr. Modi and Mr. Johnson discussed the ongoing Ukraine-Russia conflict. Prime Minister Modi expressed deep concern at the mounting humanitarian crisis and reiterated his call for immediate cessation of hostilities and return to direct dialogue and diplomacy as the way forward. India and the UK signed 2 MOUs on Global Innovation Partnership and the Global Centre for Nuclear Energy Partnership. Through the Global Innovation Partnership, India and UK have agreed to co-finance up to £75 million to support the transfer and scale-up of climate-smart sustainable innovations to third countries. Both sides also announced the ministerial-level strategic tech dialogue on new and emerging communication technologies like 5G, artificial intelligence, etc., and collaboration on integrated electric propulsion co-development technology between the two navies.
India has produced 31.9 million tons of steel during January to March this year, with a growth of 5.9%. In March alone, steel production stood at 10.9 million tons with 4.4% growth rate. As per the data released by World Steel Association on Friday, India is the only country among the top 10 steel-producing nations of the world which has registered growth in steel production in January to March period as compared to corresponding period last year. Brazil is the only other country among top 10 nations which has registered growth in the month of March. China's ruling Communist Party has begun the process for a rare third term for President Xi Jinping, as he was unanimously elected as a delegate to the 20th National Congress of the ruling party, expected to be held in the second half of this year. In China, CPC members are essentially selected, and 68-year-old Xi becoming a delegate was more of a formality. The decision was taken at the Communist Party of China Guangxi Regional Congress. The official news agency said on Friday evening that the 2-day CPC Congress of the Guangxi-Zhuang Autonomous Region was held in the regional capital of Nanning. Mr. Xi was similarly elected as a delegate to CPC's 19th National Congress by an expectedly unanimous vote at the CPC Guizhou Provincial Congress in April 2017 when he got a second term.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. China has again given the excuse of COVID-19 for delay in return of Indian students who are waiting for their return for the last 2 years, even as it allows students for many other countries amid the ongoing pandemic. Amid the ongoing COVID-19 crisis in China, China has allowed Sri Lankan students to return, according to a press release by the Sri Lankan embassy in Beijing on Thursday. However, on a question of return of Indian students, as assured by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi during his India visit last month, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Zhao Lijian on Friday said the Chinese side is actively exploring options and hopes that Indian students could return safely and resume their courses in China once the epidemic situation improves. There is no respite to Shanghai residents from the lockdown for at least 5 more days, as the city government has further tightened restrictions on the movement of residents in some districts and warned its 25 million inhabitants that strict measures would continue until COVID-19 was eradicated in every neighborhood. Amid reports of growing public resentment as the eastern metropolis city of 26 million reported 11 more deaths on Thursday, taking the official death toll in the current outbreak to 36.
In the United States, the Biden administration said on Friday that it has begun phasing out use of a pandemic-related rule that allows migrants to be expelled without an opportunity to seek asylum as 22 states fight in court to preserve the policy. Acting Assistant Homeland Security Secretary for Border and Immigration Policy, Blas Nunez Neto said, U.S. authorities have processed more single adults from Guatemala, Honduras and El Salvador in recent weeks under immigration laws, which include a right to seek asylum. The pandemic-related rule is set to expire on 23rd of May. However, it was unclear how quickly the judge in the case would rule on the state's request for a restraining order. Meanwhile, the state of Texas on Friday filed its own challenge to the termination of the rule in the federal court in Victoria. The case had not been assigned to a judge as of Friday afternoon. The Justice Department declined comment on the Texas suit. A tour boat with 26 people on board was missing in rough weathers off northern Japan on Saturday after issuing a distress call and reporting to be sinking, Japanese Coast Guard said. No survivors have been found after more than 7 hours of an intense search involving 6 patrol boats and 4 aircraft. The 19-ton Kazu-1 made an emergency call in early afternoon saying the ship's bow had flooded and was beginning to sink and tilt when it was traveling off the western coast of Shiritoko Peninsula in the northern island of Hokkaido. The Coast Guard said the tour boat has since lost contact. It said it was carrying 24 passengers and 2 crew. High waves and strong winds were observed in the area around noon, according to a local fisheries cooperative.
Indonesia will ban exports of palm oil starting next week, its president said Friday as the world's biggest producer faces a shortage of cooking oil. The Southeast Asian archipelago has been running low on palm-based cooking oil since November as producers turn to exports to cash in on an increase in prices around the world. Authorities now fear the scarcity and soaring prices could provoke social tensions and have moved to secure supplies. The government will prohibit the export of raw materials for cooking oil and cooking oil itself until a deadline to be determined later, President Joko Widodo said in a statement. The World Book and Copyright Day, also known as World Book Day, is being observed on Saturday to honor the great works of authors all over the world. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, UNESCO, established World Book Day on 23rd of April 1995 as a worldwide celebration of books and reading with the goal of encouraging young people to discover the joy of reading.
India's Health Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said the country is marching rapidly towards making India TB-free by 2025. In a tweet, Dr. Mandavia said this will be achieved by ensuring access to quality health care and advanced treatment. He said the Narendra Modi government is working with an aim to defeat TB by 2025. World Health Organization Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus has lauded Nepal's achievements in the health sector, including the allocation of a good amount of budget for health services. Dr. Ghebreyesus is on an official visit to Nepal. On Friday, Dr. Ghebreyesus called on President Bidya Devi Bhandari and Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba. While emphasizing the cooperation of WHO in further bolstering health services in Nepal, the Prime Minister said that Nepal is the first country in the Southeast Asian region to introduce the typhoid conjugate vaccine into its national immunization program. The founder of educational charity Vidyanando Kishore Kumar Das from Bangladesh has been chosen for the Commonwealth Points of Light Award for his exceptional work in improving access to education for children from marginalized backgrounds, said the British High Commission in a statement on Saturday. Commonwealth Points of Light Awards recognize outstanding individual volunteers who are making a change in their community.
India defeated France 232-231 in compound men's team final to win the gold medal in the Archery World Cup Stage 1 at Antalya, Turkey on Saturday. The Indian trio of Abhishek Verma, Rajat Chauhan and Aman Saini rallied to beat the French team of Jean-Philippe, Quentin Barrère and Adrien Gauthier in a thrilling contest. This was India's and Abhishek's second compound men's team gold medal in the event. Abhishek was also part of the Indian side that won the first ever gold in Shanghai in 2017. This was the first team gold for both Rajat and Aman.
Indian grapplers Ravi Dhaya won gold, Bajrang Punia and Gaurav Balian took silver, while Naveen and Satyavart clinched bronze medals to continue India's campaign at the Asian Wrestling Championship in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia on Saturday. Tokyo Olympic silver medalist Ravi Dhaya beat Kazakhstan's Kalzan Rakhat via virtual superiority 12-2 to win the 57 kg men's freestyle gold, his third in a row. Ravi is the first Indian to win 3 gold medals at the continental event. However, Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist Bajrang Punia lost the 65 kg final 1-3 to Iran's Rahman Musa Amzodakali. In the 79 kg gold medal bout against Iran's Ali Bakhtiar Sabadokchi, Gaurav Balian came back from 0-8 down to level the scores at 9-9. However, the Iranian was awarded the win courtesy of a bigger scoring move. In the 70 kg bronze medal playoff, Naveen quickly moved into a 4-0 lead against local wrestler Temulen Iktuya before pinning the Mongolian to end the bout in the first round itself. Satyavart Kadian ended a perfect day for India and thrashed Turkmenistan's Zumhamet Saparov in the 97 kg bronze medal match, winning the contest by 10-0. India has won a total of 1 gold, 4 silver and 10 bronze medals so far in this year's edition. In IPL cricket, Sunrisers Hyderabad thrashed Royal Challengers Bangalore by 9 wickets at Bhawan Stadium in Mumbai Saturday night. Put into bat first, Bangalore were bundled out for a paltry 68 runs in 16.1 overs, with Suyash Prabhudesai top scored with 15 runs. For Hyderabad, Marco Jansen and T. Natarajan took 3 wickets apiece, while spinner Jagdisha Suchit got 2. In reply, Hyderabad easily overhauled the target in just 8 overs with the help of Abhishek Sharma's 47 of 28 balls. Earlier, in another match, Gujarat Titans defeated Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 runs at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai. Electing to bat after winning the toss, Gujarat posted 156 for 9 in the stipulated 20 overs. In reply, KKR scored 148 runs for 8 in the stipulated 20 overs.
Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world, as reported in the foreign press. Let us take a look at the press reports on China. Xinhua reports that Chinese President Xi Jinping was unanimously elected delegate to the 20th CPC National Congress at the CPC Guangxi Regional Congress. Reuters reports a senior-level U.S. delegation met the Solomon Islands leader on Friday and warned that Washington would have significant concerns and respond accordingly to any steps to establish a permanent Chinese military presence in the Pacific island nation. CNBC writes, foreign businesses are struggling to bring workers back to factories after weeks of COVID lockdowns in Shanghai.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Bangladesh. A Dhaka court remanded the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party leader, BNP leader Mokbul Hussain to a 3-day remand in a case filed over instigating clashes between shopkeepers and Dhaka college students in the capital's New Market area that left 2 people dead and scores others wounded last week, reports the Daily Star. Sri Lankan High Commissioner to Bangladesh Sudarshan Senevartane has said that his country wanted to see Bangladesh as a strategic partner, reports New Age.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Nepal. Kathmandu Post reports that Nepal has sought the World Health Organization's support to develop the country as a regional hub for tropical medicine. The Republica reports that Director General of the World Health Organization WHO, Dr. Tedros, paid a courtesy call on Prime Minister Sher Bahadur Deuba Friday in Kathmandu.
Now let's have a look at the press reports on Balochistan. As per Balochistan Post, thousands of people are reportedly missing from Balochistan, while recovery of dead bodies and mass graves have been a common occurrence for 2 decades. An organization, Fridays for Future, a youth-led global environment campaign, highlighted the issues facing Balochistan on social media and demanded an immediate end to the oppression and exploitation of the Baloch people. India's Union Minister for Electronics and Information Technology Ashwini Vaishnav has said that the electronics industry has made significant growth in the last 7 to 10 years. The minister said that the sector has grown to $80 billion industry, employing over 25 lakh people. He added the sector is well on its way to grow to $300 billion industry in the coming years. He was addressing the Sankalp Se Siddhi Summit in New Delhi. The minister said lots of inputs have been received from industry for further increasing the growth, and the government is in process of implementing many of these suggestions. He said people at the bottom of pyramid should be at the core of digitization. Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav highlighted the 5 themes that can add value to development efforts of the government and industry pertaining to digitization. These included electronics and other kind of manufacturing, lead in semiconductor sector, use of public digital platforms, and convergence between telecom and information technology to reap benefits of digitization.
Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has said that Bangladesh has built a cross-sectoral Delta Plan 2100 to work towards a resilient and prosperous Delta. She said Bangladesh is hosting an international financing conference next month to mobilize resources for projects under the plan. In a message to the 4th Asia-Pacific Water Summit being held in the Japanese city of Kumamoto on April 23-24, Sheikh Hasina said that countries in the Asia-Pacific region should combine forces to share good practices, knowledge and technologies to help address the common challenges. She called upon countries to adopt basin-wise approach to manage the waters of transboundary rivers, reports the official news agency BSS. Urging countries to ensure sound water management to build back better from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Prime Minister Hasina said that youth should be trained to become responsible actors for water inclusiveness, efficiency and sustainability. Speaking about the measures taken by Bangladesh, Prime Minister Hasina said that her government has drawn up a conclusive whole-of-society approach for water management. Prime Minister Hasina said Bangladesh is considered a role model in water-related disaster management as the country has benefited from developing early warning systems and community-based interventions. She said Bangladesh is giving emphasis on nature-based solutions, including rainwater harvesting. She informed that Bangladeshi scientists are working to develop salinity and water-resistant and drought-tolerant crops and have already invented a number of varieties. Bangladesh is looking forward to using the sediment loads flowing into the Bay of Bengal for reclaiming and elevating lands in the coastal areas, said Prime Minister Hasina.
A look at the headlines once again. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh says India will not hesitate to cross borders if it is targeted by terrorists from outside. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to share his thoughts in Mann Ki Baat program on Sunday. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow next week over the Ukrainian war. University Grants Commission and the All India Council for Technical Education advises students not to travel to Pakistan for pursuing higher education. World Book and Copyright Day being observed to honor the great works of authors all over the world. Indian grapplers win 1 gold, 2 silver and 2 bronze medals in the Asian Wrestling Championships at Ulaanbaatar on Saturday. India beat France in compound men's team final to win the gold medal in the Archery World Cup Stage 1 at Antalya. And in IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans beat Kolkata Knight Riders by 8 runs, while Sunrisers Hyderabad defeat Royal Challengers Bangalore by 9 wickets in Mumbai. And now, before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favorite bhajan, Vaishnava Jan, by artists from Finland.
Vaishnava Jana to tene kahiye veer parani jani re bharat ke upakar kare to ye Ninda
And with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of the World News.